Kara Swisher says what she says about Stephen Miller. There's a clip that came up. You know, I'm at the Pentagon yesterday in the Department of State. We literally got back 3:30 this morning, just so everybody knows. We landed 3 o'clock this morning. We got home at 3:30, 4 o'clock. We slept. We came back here at 8 a.m., and we're doing a podcast here with you guys. And we're energized, exciting. It was great. Yesterday, I'm talking to a bunch of different guys, and, you know, we're at the what do you call it, Department of War and all these different places. And we're talking to Hexed yesterday, Kristi Noem, did a podcast with Rand Paul. Stephen Miller's name came up many, many times. And I said, you know what Stephen Miller is? To me, Stephen Miller is, to give the analogy of basketball, I said in basketball, everybody needs a Dennis Rodman. Stephen Miller is Dennis Rodman.
Draymond Green.
He is the Draymond Green. Yeah. He's the rage baiting, you know, poking you, tapping you in the butt, irritating
Dylan Brooks.
Yes, that's who he is. He's the Dylan, what was the guy's name? Malavadeta?
Delavadeta. He works here.
Yeah. So watch, this guy's doing a podcast. He's talking to a professor and accidentally realizes he used to teach Stephen Miller. Look at the response on what he says about Stephen Miller. Go ahead, Rob.
Miller.
My former student.
What's that?
My former student.
I'm sorry, say again?
My former student.
The Stephen Miller in the Trump administration?
Yeah.
Did you want to say a little bit more about that before we listen to this clip?
He said it. I asked him in 2003 what he wanted to be when he grew up. And he said, I want to be number 2 in the White House. And I said, oh, when do you want to achieve that? He says, in the next 15 years. I said, wow. Okay, well, who would be the president in 2003? And he said, Donald Trump, maybe.
What?
The guy is very smart.
That's crazy.
Where was this?
And Duke is in Poli-Sci 122.
You had him at Duke?
Yeah. It's a true story.
You could have told, I mean, I do a lot of homework here, Hein. You could have told me this before the program.
Not enough homework.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. So there's no question he's a very smart guy.
And he has a long-term vision.
Was he a good student, by the way?
He was very good.
A very good student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, this is the part that they don't want to talk about. This guy, Stephen Miller, you know, they can say whatever they want to say about the Stephen Miller guy. But that professor right there, you think they're probably on the same page politically?
Probably not.
You think that guy and the professor are on the same page politically?
Well, they're supposed to be, right? Because that's what that podcast is about, is bringing this guy up as context of what the podcaster already believes. Look, it's not about saying Stephen Miller is a stupid or he's a genius. That is silly.
The fact that he's a number 2 guy to Hitler type of a comparison.
It's so crazy.
Oh, listen, that does nothing good.
Yeah.
Okay? It does nothing good. It makes nothing better. It doesn't create any chance of better outcomes. All it does is piss people off. And if that's what you want to do, fine. I think the only mistake with Miller is not a front guy. Miller's messaging, his demeanor, his style, I don't think helps the president. Strategically, tactically, philosophically, if he's helpful to the president, that's the president's choice. The only tweak I would do is, and now some on the left will criticize me and say, no, we need to hear him. We need to hear him. I think that one mistake that Trump has made thus far, except for Leavitt. Leavitt is a good communicator for him. He is better than all of his guys at making the case for him. And I think that what we're seeing,
is better, you're saying.
Leavitt is the best of his people, but Trump is so much better than all of his people. And that wasn't always true for presidents, you know. Mm-hmm. That what you see with ICE now and the realignment that probably is going to come to pass, that's Trump doing it. Trump had to get back involved. He had to say, wait, we're saying the wrong things, we're doing the wrong things. He is not being well served by the people around him. Stephen Miller, strategically, they are very happy with. Bannon says the same thing, which is weird because they're not buddies. But having him as a front person, I think, is complicated.
I'm not sure if I agree with that completely. I'll tell you why. Because I first saw Stephen Miller, and I didn't realize I was seeing him. You know where? You know where he came to national prominence? He fearlessly stepped up to the microphone and said that the case against his fellow classmates on Duke Lacrosse, he wasn't part of the lacrosse team, he wasn't part of that fraternity, but he stepped up to the microphone and made a very cogent legal analysis and sat there and said, this is wrong, this is racially motivated in the wrong way. He was strong, and guess what? He was right. And that's where America met Stephen Miller, standing up for his classmates.
15 years ago, I want to say.
Editor. Longer.
Wow.
You know who blew that case wide open and proved that it was a false prosecution? Me and Dan Abrams. NBC News and ABC News.
Yeah.
We blew up the timeline. We proved that things didn't happen when they said. Those boys got railroaded. And, of course, Crystal Mangum,
That was him
who
here?
was the accuser, wound up admitting it. The woman who was with her wound up admitting it long before. It was a con, and it was done by a local prosecutor, in part, who wanted to make a name for going after the rich kids and impress his working class
And what happened to him? He was disbarred and he actually did time.
That's right.
Brief, but he did time.
That's right. So I know the case very well. I remember his role very well. I wish he would come on, to be tested and come on. He doesn't want to come on with me. And that's unfortunate because I want to give people an opportunity to make their
You
case.
mean News Nation?
Yeah, he won't come on.
You know who you should have on, though, is if he won't come on with you, should have on his wife, Katie Miller, who has this massive podcast now, gets everybody on. You can pull her up. I think she started it 6 months ago. She's had Elon Musk. She has everybody from the administration. So she's doing a lot of the talking for him. But I'll tell you one thing about Stephen
Yeah,
Miller.
but
and
I don't want her.
No, I
want
get it.
him. I don't want your wife.
Touche.
I want
Touche.
you to
But,
come on.
you take what you can get. But I do want to get back to Pat's point when he's talking about Kara Swisher. I'll make a quick point about Stephen Miller. Trump rewards loyalty. Stephen Miller has arguably been the most loyal person
Yes.
since day one. He, the whole Trump was right about everything.
Mm-hmm.
That is being humanized in the human form with Stephen Miller. That's why he rewards him. Back to Kara Swisher. PBD made the most important point about the if you don't set the tone or set an example with Don Lemon, oh, you have no idea the floodgates that will open in mosques, in churches, in temples. By the way, good luck getting in synagogues these days because they've learned the hard way that you need to have armed security guards and fences because people will go shoot up the joint. The last thing we need are political agitators coming in front of churches and mosques and doing basically what Vinny's upset about. What Kara Swisher said, last point, about how he's the Heinrich Himmler, the number 2 to Hitler, is so disgusting to me and shows you have no idea about history. Okay? It's inflammatory and bombastic, and it's just naive and wrong. I told the story about my friend's grandma who basically told the story. She's like, yes, I grew up. All my siblings are dead. They killed my grandparents. They killed my aunt. She's the only person alive in her whole family, much less her town. And we're talking about 2 people that got in the way of
Let's do that.
authorities.
That's a good transition as well. Let's go into that. So
It's not even, doesn't make sense.
There's a game coming up called Super Bowl, right? And Seattle is going up against
New England,
New
sir.
England Patriots. And it's so funny because we can go through a whole different conversation with New England, with Bill Belichick. Maybe we'll do that all the way at the end because I'm sure we all have some opinions on Bill Belichick not making it into the Hall of Fame. Tom Brady said, if I have to come back and play with only one coach, I'm not picking anybody else but Bill Belichick. And the guy didn't make it, and 3 other coaches were first ballot Hall of Famers, but this guy didn't. But anyways, Patriots, Seattle Seahawks, while this is happening, you're watching it, and if you believe future looks bright, you may want to wear this gear that we're launching here today. Go ahead, Rob.
It starts with what you wear. Not just style, identity.
I like that you went with the British guy.
Built with precision.
Vinny.
From the curve of the brim to the weight of the fabric. Every detail matters because this isn't just apparel. It's confidence you put on, pride you represent, a statement without saying a word, where performance
You guys
meets
have your own
legacy.
flag football team?
This is more than gear. This is who we are.
All right, go to VTmerch.com,
okay,
folks.
Mano.
Good for Mano, looking good.
Panda.
Go to VTmerch.com, place your order. Future looks bright. And by the way, Mano Wright used to play for the Chiefs. He's now here running VT Sports with Danny Cannell. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.